Hello, my most amazing artists. I am so glad to be back here on YouTube again with you guys. Today we're gonna do a really cool video. And if you'll notice, I am in my home studio right back here. I have the luxury of having another room for my studio, but I know a lot of you don't. So I didn't always have that luxury though. And so today we're gonna talk about doing a studio in a bag or a studio in a box or even in a basket, whatever you might have to carry your supplies in. We're gonna make a studio with that. And it's actually really fun, and you can keep it with you. You can travel with it. You can take it in the car with you on trips. You can take it hiking. You can go on a nature walk with it. It's really fun. So let's get started, you guys. You'll need a bag or a box or a basket, something to put your supplies in. Here we go.
Hello, art friends. Today we're going to talk about how to make your very own portable or travel art studio. And you have a little bit different view of my studio today because I have my little camera here in a little bit different setup. So I know a lot of you don't have the luxury of having even your own bedroom. So this can be something that you can do to keep your things where you want them to be. For a long time, I didn't have a studio, and I just worked out of a bag. I kept my things in bags. So if you don't have a bag, easiest thing you can get is a cardboard box. You get this out of a recycle bin. A lot of us are getting Amazon boxes right now because there's things we can't get in the store. So, you know, even if you don't have Amazon Prime, someone you know probably does, and they probably don't care if you use one of their boxes. Also, if you go to Aldi, sometimes they have fruit crates out that you can get. You can improvise a lot with a box, okay? So there's a box. Let's talk about what else you can use. What I used for years was just a soft fabric bag. And I had my studio in a bag pretty much most of the time that I didn't live in a very big house, because it had handles on it. It was easy to grab and go with it. I can put the things I needed to in here. And these were fairly cheap and they didn't rip or tear. And I could also tie the handles together. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anyone do this. And keep my 2-year-old out of it, which was really important at the time. Okay, I know you guys, and I really hope that you got to bring home your backpacks. Yes, my friends, your backpack can turn into your studio. And backpacks are honestly probably the best bet for your studio because a lot of times they have all kinds of different really cool specialty pockets on them. This one has this. It's a pocket here. And they oftentimes have many different zipper pockets that you can utilize. This one even has a pocket here. I think this one even came with a pencil bag. So sometimes you'll get some little extra treats when you get a backpack, but they make great studios. So today we're going to use a backpack to show our studio, but I have one more thing to show you before we do that. I have this basket that I really like to use. It's just a hard sided basket. I think I just got it at a thrift store on eBay or something. It's a pretty nice basket, but I really like to use this as my studio right now when I'm walking around my house or going to different rooms, just because it keeps everything in one place and it doesn't tip over like a bag does or a backpack does. So if you have a basket, baskets are really great. This is what people used, you know, long before we had backpacks. They used a basket. All right, let's get back to our backpack. So get your backpack out. Uh-oh, don't hit your camera with your backpack. Now, a lot of you will probably have to clean your backpack out before you start this process, and that's okay. I had to clean this one out too. My daughter was using it, and there was like stuff in there, books and things, and some candy. You never know. You might find something good in there. I found a sucker. So let's talk about what you're going to put in your backpack studio. First off, every artist has to have paper. That is so important. And I just have this regular cheap copy paper from Walmart. Now you're not going to take a whole ream of copy paper with you. You really don't need to do that. You can just get, you know, maybe 20 sheets to keep in your studio and then replenish it as needed. Now if I just put this right in my backpack like this, it's going to get mussed up and wrinkled and bent. Plus, you need something to put your paper on when you're writing that's hard because you might not always have a table. I didn't have a table for years and I just sat on the sofa and did art, or sat in bed watching movies and did art, and you have to have something hard to write on. So, in that case, I recommend finding a book to write on. This is one of my favorite books. Or if you don't have a book big enough, because you need a big book, you can even use a magazine. It's not super hard, but it still will make a really good surface to write on. So, what you can do is tuck your paper inside your book. This book probably isn't big enough. Oh, it's not, friends. Look at that. My paper sticks out. So you want to look for a book where your paper won't stick out, where it can't get damaged. I should have done that, but I didn't. And then you can put your book with your paper in it inside your backpack. Right there in that. You've got your paper all safe and sound. Next thing artists need are something to draw with. So you need a pen, you need a pencil, probably, I don't know if you have a Sharpie, whatever you use, you probably need a pencil sharpener too. Pencil sharpener, that can really come in handy. An eraser. Where's my eraser? Here it is. It's hiding. An eraser. These little things you can usually fit in the front of your backpack. Now, if you want, you could get a little Ziploc bag and put these in there. That way they would be kept together. And if I were you, I would definitely put your pencil sharpener in a Ziploc bag or keep it emptied. I can't tell you how many bags I have that have pencil shavings in the bottom because as you travel, sometimes this opens. Whoops. All right, so there's that stuff. Then you need something to make color with. And you know, here I've got my old trusties, my old ancient crayons here. We're using what we have, guys. So I do encourage you to go around your house and shop your house. Now, if I put these in my backpack, this is gonna open and spill. So one of the things I really like to have on handy for my travel art kit is ponytail holders. And if you're a guy, of course you can use rubber bands, but we have girls at my house, so we have a lot of these. And you can just fit ponytail holders over things to keep them closed so they don't spill inside your bag. And just pop that in your bag. All right, what else can we put in here? Oh, I know. How about watercolors? Yeah, here's my little student kit of watercolors. I can put this in my bag. Put that in this front pocket here with my other things. Now, when you take watercolors with you, you have to take a brush with you. And a lot of the times, your brush will get damaged if you take it with you. So if you have the Crayola watercolors that we use in class, the long one, make sure you tuck your brush inside and keep it inside so your hairs don't get damaged. This brush happens to be a travel brush. So it actually unscrews, hold on, and goes right in, and then I can screw it in, and the bristles are inside here and they're protected. And then it just sits right inside, and I can close this and be on my merry way and not worry about my brush getting really damaged. Now with watercolor, you have to have water. So you can probably just get a water bottle. I just found this on the recycle and put some water in it. And that's what your little side pockets can come in real handy for. You can drink this water if it's clean. If it's not clean, please don't drink it. And there you go, guys. There's a really simple studio setup in a backpack. And this can be used for a lot of things. You can take this in the car with you. You can do art anywhere, guys. It's just like reading a book. Oh, and you can put books in here. Awesome, right? Oh, markers. I have some markers here. You can put markers in there. Go crazy. I mean, put whatever you want in there. The problem is it will start to get kind of heavy. So obviously you're gonna have to decide if you wanna carry all this stuff or just part of this stuff. So now you have your very own portable studio. You can keep this next to your bed, take it with you in the car. I know we're not traveling a lot these days. You can take it outside in your backyard and set up and get ready to do some nature journaling or whatever you want to do. All right, now that we've done this, I'm going to switch over and show you what's in my travel studio. So just a minute.
Okay, it's time for an Abby break. Where's your bone? This is my sweet golden retriever. Her name is Abby. And she is just the most wonderful dog in the whole world. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Oh, you hit the camera. Don't hit the camera. Oh, get it. Get it. Get it. She's wagging her tail, you guys. It's so cute. She's so cute. Oh, you keep getting out of the camera. Where are you going? No, don't leave. We were filming. Why did you leave? Abby, come here. Come here. All right, you guys, back to art.
Hello, art friends. I'm back, and I want to show you what's in my studio, my portable studio, I'm sorry. So this is stuff that's in my basket that I take with me down to the kitchen to do homeschool with my kids in the morning, back up here to my studio to work, to the living room when we have movie night and I want to watch a movie and do some art. I just take it all over with me. It's really fun, and it keeps my stuff organized in the basket. So this is my first thing, and this is my little portable watercolor kit. And a really sweet teacher friend of mine gave this little bag to me, and I just love it. And I've kept her little note on here for a really long time. So here I have a tiny little book. So little and so cute. And it has a little band that goes around it to protect it. I have some tissues because sometimes you just get too much paint and you gotta wipe it off. Then I have my paint kit, and I have a water brush. I don't know if you guys have seen people on YouTube use these. They're really great if you're outside and you don't have water like in a cup that you can rinse your brush off with. There's actually water goes in this reservoir in this barrel here, and you squeeze it out onto your brush, and you would clean your brush off on a tissue and wipe all the paint off that way and get new paint with it, which they're pretty cool. And they're not very expensive. I think these are $4 or $5 at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever you go. Probably about the same on Amazon. So they're not very expensive. I haven't looked for these at Walmart, but they might have them because Walmart's art section has actually gotten a lot better. So now let's look at my watercolor kit. This is a Winsor & Newton field box. And this is the one I showed you in class. It kind of opens up like a transformer. It's really fun. This was such a game changer for me because I didn't have to drag out a giant palette to paint with every time I wanted to paint in watercolor. And it's got a little cup here that you can put water in. And I have a split primary palette. That means I have a warm and a cool, warm and a cool, warm and a cool of every color, of every primary color, so red, yellow, blue. And then I have some convenience colors, like I have a green here, and I have kind of like a creamy stone color there. I also have a warm and cool, cool and warm brown. And my two favorite colors, this is Cobalt Turquoise Light Winsor & Newton, and Cobalt Green, I think. I can't remember the name of that one. And then I have some white gouache, just if I need to do some white. I usually don't, but that's kind of fun. This kit has a little tiny little paintbrush in it that I hardly ever use because really it's so small. It would take me years to paint something with that. And it has a little container that you can put water in, and then you just open this, squeeze the water out, I don't have water in it right now, to your cup, and then close it up again. And it also has a little mixing thing on it right there. So this is a really fun little super cute set. You can buy a really expensive version of this with artist watercolors in it, or you can buy a student version with student watercolors. Winsor & Newton student watercolors are Cotman, and they are very, very good watercolors, you guys. I used them all through college. They're quite inexpensive and they're very high quality. The Cotman version of this set is pretty well priced. You can find it on eBay and Amazon, and I'm pretty sure it's called a field box. It might be under Skechers kit, something like that. You know, my watercolor set that I use for our videos is actually a Winsor & Newton as well. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and this is a Cotman Skechers box. And so this is student grade watercolors, but they're still way, way, way steps above a regular set of Crayolas. So even if you could only get student grade, they're still a lot better than the grade you get in our classroom. And this again is another split primary palette with a warm and a cool of every primary color. So, all right, you guys really don't need that though. Until we get into a lot further on color theory and things like that. So let's look at what else is in that kit. That was kind of long and boring. Of course, I have a pencil, whoops, and a leaf, a petal from an iris, a pencil, an eraser. I like these click erasers. You guys ever see these at Walmart? Oh, there we go, I gotta get in the camera. Because they're really small and they erase really well. And you just extend it when you're ready for more, and you can erase a lot of really good details with these. It's pretty much like the eraser on the end of a pencil, it's just a little bit better. All right, so I keep those in this, and I got this at Walmart, you guys. It's just a 5-star pencil holder, and this thing stands upright when you're ready to use it, and it folds down so that all of your pencils and pens are right where you want them. So I have my favorite colored pencils in here. I also have my fountain pen. Absolutely love fountain pens. This is called a Lamy Joy, and it has brown ink in it, and that's a lot of fun. I have a couple of travel brushes in here, and just a lot of my favorite pencils. I have some of my favorites on pencil extenders. You can get these on Amazon really cheap. So these pencils are actually really, really short, but if you put an extender on it, you can use it for a much longer time. All right, so I just store everything in here, and then when I'm ready to go, I just fold up the little flaps, zip it up, ta-da, and I'm ready to go. And this, if you have a binder, you can even put it in a binder, but I don't use a binder for stuff like that. So there's that. And then I also have my set of colored pencils here. More colored pencils. Yay. Okay, I love colored pencils, you guys. Probably a little bit too much. And I keep these in an old tin pencil box that I've had since I was a kid. And there is Kleenex in here folded to protect them. So this protects them at the bottom from getting bumped and broken, and this protects them at the top from breaking their points if this gets dropped or set down wrong. So that's why there's Kleenex in here. It's not because I'm blowing my nose on it. I've had this pencil box since I was in the 5th grade, and that was a really, really long time ago. So it's done a really good job. It's metal, it's tin. I think it's by the people that made Hello Kitty stuff. And I just had it a long time and I love it. All right, next thing is what I do my art on. So here's my sketchbook, and it has this little utility belt thing on it that you can tuck a pencil in. So like if you're just in a really big hurry and you just want to grab it and take your pencil, you can do that. It's got a zipper, and so when this first came out, it was for you to put your phone in it, but phones are really big now, they don't really fit in there. I also have a piece of paper stuck in there because a lot of times when I'm drawing, I don't want what's on a page to get rubbed off onto another page, so I'll put that in between my pages to protect them. So there's that. And you guys, gotta have a book, so I might not feel like drawing, so sometimes I'll throw a book in there too. All right, you guys, now you've seen my art kit. I want you to go through your house and find some things to put in your art kit and just make it yours, all right? See you next time. Bye.